out my 99 Pontiac Firebird. Isn't it cool? In today's video, I'm going to show you my car. I'm so excited to show you this 99 Pontiac Firebird. And we'll look at the inside of the car, take a look at the engine, and talk about all the good things and the bad things about driving an older vehicle. First thing, let's talk about the price. How much did I pay for this car? Well, I will say that I was very fortunate that my parents helped me out with purchasing this car. And I do have the original sales receipt from purchasing the vehicle. And so that's right, I have had this car for 20 years. Isn't that so awesome? I'm so happy that my Firebird has been with me for 20 years. And the price when purchased was a grand total of $7,764.50, which was a pretty good price at the time for the vehicle, the body style, how many miles it had on it when it was purchased. It is currently sitting at 176,000 miles. So still relatively low for an older vehicle, I think. Not too bad. Okay, so my first number one favorite thing about this car is the body style. I mean, come on, is this not a sexy car? Oh, yeah. But seriously, it's such a good looking car. I love the body style. It does have, of course, this super long nose on it, and it's got these cool flip up lights. I always did think about putting the little eyelashes on there because I thought it might be cute. But it's got the flip lights, and then of course here in the front we've got this sexy Firebird logo emblem right on the front here. So got the Firebird right on the front there. And you will notice though, as we're looking at the car and you're kind of seeing the paint, it is a little bit faded. Unfortunately, this car doesn't get to be parked in a garage, so it is exposed to the elements all the time and the sun. So I'm sure that plays a big role in the fading. Also, I had a mishap recently where I put a ceramic coating on the car. I thought that was going to help bring it back to life, but I did not check the weather before doing that. And guess what? It started raining right after I got it applied. So what happened was we got all of these splotchy splotches all over the car, which that kind of stinks. So if you know a product that can help me really shine this car up and get it back to life, please, please let me know in the comments, because I really want to keep this car looking fresh. But back in 2020, I did have it repainted actually. It was pretty cool. I went to Mako and they had a pretty good price. So for $1,000, I actually got a whole new paint job. And you can see on the sides and stuff, it still looks really good. Just the top is kind of fading a little bit. But I thought at the time, Mako did a really good job with the new paint. It really freshened it up, gave it a new life, a new look. And also at the time, Mako did take out all of the little dings and dents. They really smoothed everything out. I feel like they went above and beyond to really make the car look awesome at the time when I had it done. So the price point of $1,000, you probably couldn't get the same service now for the same price. But Mako did an amazing job. Funny story. I actually had taken it to a different shop to try to have it painted. And they basically told me I should put my car out to pasture, that it was kind of like, you know, not worth painting. And I was like, you guys are crazy. This is my dream car. I've had this car for so long. I want to keep it with me as long as possible. So, but Mako, they took it in and they did an amazing job. I definitely would consider going back and using their service again for another repaint. Yeah. Around the back, of course, we do have our hatchback style trunk. So we'll open that up and look inside of the hatchback in just a bit. And you've got the Firebird and the Pontiac here. The logo's there, looking pretty sharp. And then on around this side, of course, our gas little gas place right there. And let's go ahead and open it up and take a look inside. I mean, under the hood. We'll go ahead and pop the hood there. Now, I don't claim to be a car expert, and I definitely don't know everything there is about cars or even this car, but we'll just show you inside. And this is a V6 manual transmission. And for a V6, I'll tell you, the power is incredible. And that's actually the number 2, my favorite thing about this car. The get up and go is crazy. In the past, I will say, and even now, when I'm at a stoplight, so just picture, here I am pulling up to a stoplight. I look to my left, I look to my right, and there's somebody who just makes eye contact with me. They rev their engine and they are ready to race. And that happens all the time. People want to race me in this car. And while that's very flattering, I try my best nowadays. There may be a time in the past where I would have fallen into that temptation, but now I more or less stick to the slow lane. I kind of drive like a granny now, but that's why I think this car has lasted as long as it has and is in such good shape as it is, because I try my best to take care of it and not abuse it by, doing that racing and any of that crazy stuff these days. Yeah. All right, we'll close that up there. I will say I love driving a manual transmission. It's so fun, and it feels very powerful and very fun to drive a stick shift. And I'll actually make another video about how I learned to drive a straight drive car and kind of the experiences that I had, because it's kind of funny, and I feel like that driving that type of vehicle is sort of a dying art. There's not a lot of young people that know how to do that these days. So I'll just tell you a little bit about my experience. Okay, that brings me to my third most favorite thing about driving a Firebird is the handling. This car will turn on a dime. The handling is so amazing, and growing up in Burke County, North Carolina, I can tell you there are plenty of wiggly waggly backcountry roads where this car is so much fun. It's definitely a great car to have in the country. I mean, you could drive it anywhere, but on a windy back road, tons of fun. The handling, superb. One of the negative things, though, is that the car does sit pretty low to the ground. So if there are really steep hills and driveways, entrances and exits to businesses that are a little tricky to get in and out of, the car does scrape sometimes. I have to go in at an angle and just be very careful so that the car doesn't scrape because it sits so low to the ground. Also, another thing that is a little tricky about it sitting so low is just getting in and out of the vehicle. I'll kind of show you just getting into the vehicle. It's pretty low, but for me, it's not really a problem. But for certain folks, my mom and then my dad, when he had ridden with me a few times, if you have knee problems or, if you're a bigger person, it can be a little tricky to get in and out of the car. One of my friends, he is 6'3" and almost 400 pounds. He is a big guy. Love him to death. But watching him trying to get in and out of my car is actually pretty comical. So these days, if we're riding together somewhere, we'd pretty much take his car. Overall, though, once you're in the car, the bucket seats are so comfortable. I mean, there's plenty of leg room as long as somebody's not sitting behind you. If you do have to scooch up because somebody's in the back seat, then it can be a little cramped. But the bucket seats are very, very comfortable, even for long distances. I have taken this car on a couple of trips in the past, and riding long distance, super cozy, no problems. Okay, so while we're here, I'll show you guys another not so great aspect about the car is the dash. Unfortunately, these dash panels were not built to last. The way that the windshield is large and slanted, it really leaves the dash open to a lot of sun exposure, and they are cracking. Like, it's very common for the Firebird and the Camaro for around the 99 in those years. The large dash panels on a lot of the Firebirds and Camaros, you'll see cracking. Now, they do make replacement panels, which I am looking into currently because I do want to refresh the car and do a little work to try to make it look better. So I probably will consider getting one of those dash panels that just covers the existing panel, and that will look so much better than having all of those little cracks in there. Okay, so you guys see me in the front seat, and when there's only one passenger, plenty of leg room. Wonderful. But let's take a look and I'll show you guys a bird's eye view. Bird's eye, Firebird. Anyway, I'll show you what it's like for a passenger getting in the back seat. So we'll go ahead and hop out of here and let's take a look. Now, if I'm having people sitting in the back seat, we are going to have to move the front seat up just a little bit to kind of give everybody a little bit more room. So we'll go ahead and move this seat up here. All right, and then there is a little handle here, so that can go forward there, and then we'll just hop into the back seat here. Now, I am 5'6", undisclosed weight, but I'm 5'6", and you can see that I just fit into the back seat here. It is a little bit cramped, not too bad. But again, my friend who is 6'3", that ain't happening. No way. So for a taller passenger, there is no way they're getting into this back seat. But for me, it's comfortable enough. Not as comfortable as it is in the front, but still not bad. Overall, the car is a really smooth ride. You'd be surprised for an older vehicle and a lowrider. You really don't feel all the lumps and bumps in the road. I think you feel it a little bit more in the back seat. So the back seat might not be as smooth of a ride, but the front seat is definitely a smooth ride, and you don't feel all the bumps and lumps that happen as you're driving. Yeah. Oh, but let's hop out of here because I want to show you guys the lights and how they flip up and down because that part is so cool. So let's take a look at the lights. I'm just going to crawl out of here. There we go. Do a little gymnastics to get out. All right, let's head around to the other side. Okay, I'm going to hop in the driver's seat here and I want to show you the lights here from the front when they pop open. It's pretty cool. So take a look here. Here they go. Woo! There they are. Pretty cool, right? But there is one little issue that I'll show you that kind of makes a little bit of noise whenever they go down. So I will see if you can hear that noise as the lights are going down. Oh boy. Yeah. So just imagine at my apartment complex, if you are one of my neighbors and I'm coming in late, I was out for the evening and maybe it's, like midnight and I'm just getting home from the bar or something. And then you hear that noise. It's like, oh, well, she's home. So that is one of the downfalls, is that loud noise that happens when the lights go down. I have gotten a quote from 2 different garages on getting that fixed, and it was going to be between $800 and $1,000 to get that fixed. And the lights still go up and down just fine. The lights still work just fine. So I was like, no, thank you. Unfortunately for my neighbors, they'll just have to keep hearing that grinding noise for now. So in case you didn't notice, this car is a T-top, so kind of like a convertible, but these panels just pop out of the top and then you've got open air on the road, which you can imagine 17-year-old me, how amazing that was. Okay, another super cool feature that I'm excited to show you is the T-tops. They're so awesome. Whenever you take these panels out, you feel the fresh air on the open road. And you can imagine, especially 17-year-old me, how awesome I thought I was whenever I was riding with these T-tops out. So let me show you how they come out. There's a little lever right underneath, and then they just kind of pop out. And we'll pull them out there, and then they go into the trunk. There is a special spot in the trunk to store the T-top panels. But as you can see, the top looks a little rough. That part could use some cleaning and a little bit of work, but still, it is so cool, and I love the feeling when I take these T-tops out. We'll go ahead and put that back on though, and I'll go ahead and show you the hatchback. So we'll just slide it right back in. And another kind of negative thing, if you don't get these T-tops back in correctly, you will have leaks, and it will drip on you, it will leak. So you have to be very careful that you're making sure you get the T-top back in really tight. And lock it back in place with the little lever there. And ta-da! There it is. Okay, so now I'm going to show you the hatchback trunk. There's so much space in here. I have moved to and from college in this car. I've moved to a couple different apartments. There is so much space. You can put a lot of junk in that trunk. Let's take a look. And there it is. And whenever you put the back seat down as well, then there is so much space in here for all kinds of stuff. It is very spacious back here. And also, in case you were wondering, the spare tire is under this panel here. It has these little lock things that you twist, and then when this panel comes off, the spare tire is right under there. So, super convenient. And unfortunately, this doesn't stay up on its own anymore. The fluid, that makes it stay up by itself, is not in there. So I have a trick for that. My handy dandy stick. Well, so just put the stick there and prop it up just like that. And that works just fine. But eventually I would like to have that fixed so that it's a little safer and so that the trunk will stay up by itself. But we'll get there. It is. Hopefully you have enjoyed the car show, and hopefully you enjoyed the tour of my 99 Pontiac Firebird. But stay tuned for the next video, because we're going to go for a drive and I'm going to show you this baby in action. Zoom.